Welcome to Sports Court. I'm Tamara Holder. Student athletes at the University of Minnesota are caught up in a drug scandal. 4 university wrestlers are now under investigation for dealing the anti-anxiety drug Xanax to their teammates. And another 10 players are accused of using the drug. Their punishment? Not jail, to write a 1-page essay. Joining me now to weigh in is attorney Richman. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to go to the beginning of this when the coach, he found out about this incident. And what he did was he sent his players, or the wrestlers, a text message. He didn't go to authorities, and we want to pull that up on the screen for our viewers. The text message says, "Remember that paper is due on my desk by tomorrow evening. Number 1, what emotions you're feeling by getting caught, by letting yourself, your teammates, your parents down. How did it feel? And do you want to feel that way again? Number 2, what did you learn from this? 3, what are you going to do different? Your plan so it does not happen again." And this was back in April. What do you think of that kind of wonderful punishment, if you will,
right.
or text message?
No punishment at all. A text to tell them a letter, a feelings letter, and then he actually promised them some form of immunity if they came forward with this letter. So I think this is a classic case of a coach who doesn't understand that off-the-field behavior isn't included in his philosophy of sticking as a team. He's circling the wagons. He's trying to protect his players, which is good when they're on the field. But in the context of off-the-field behavior, he really should have been talking to administrators or university administrators, and there's some evidence that he did, and also possibly to the police if he knows of criminal activity.
Well, there's another part of this that really interests me, if you will, because he apparently took the Xanax pills, a lot of them, and he threw them into the river. So is that legally, do you think, does he have some kind of possible criminal liability here,
Sure.
Destruction of evidence, failure to report a crime,
Sure.
Whatever else?
I do. I think there is. And I think, to have some context, Xanax, it's a Schedule IV drug, but I think the behavior really is kind of indicative of a larger problem, which is a coach who's doing anything to protect his players, when really he should be thinking more big picture, and he should be thinking about the crime that he's absolutely, like you said, he's now become part of. He's destroying evidence. He's part of the conspiracy of this crime, although it's not such a serious crime. But as far as what kinds of drugs they were involved with, or allegedly involved with, but
we're talking thousands of drugs. And as a criminal defense attorney, I've seen people go to prison for small amounts of ecstasy. This is thousands amount of pills. Right. And when the investigators allegedly, now all this is obviously allegations, nothing has been proven yet, but he told investigators that he wasn't going to give them the names, he wasn't going to give them the essays. Is that appropriate at all?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is a coach who doesn't understand that the philosophy of staying as a team, staying as a unit, doesn't mean circling the wagons and protecting the team from a criminal investigation. He doesn't understand that his role changes off the field. His philosophy isn't just being devout to his team. It crosses the line to being just blindly faithful to this concept of team, and it doesn't apply anymore.
Well, is there any defense, just quickly, do you think, to the fact that Xanax is not listed by the NCAA as performance-enhancing or as a banned substance at all? It's not Adderall, it's not HGH, it's not a steroid, it's not on that list. So is there any defense there?
Yeah. There is, and that's what I was getting at before. And I'm not trying in any way, minimize what he did, but I just want perspective. As a Schedule IV drug, it means that it's low dependence, low addiction levels, but it's still an illegal drug, and what he did was still illegal.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens, because I think this is blowing up.
Okay.
Thank you all for watching. Sports Court is adjourned.